like to call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You guys are awful.
Hit record.
Eric Caucus. Somebody's doing that. This is Casio. Here. Mr. Ranieri.
He's here.
Here.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Here.
Mr. Farrell.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly. Here. Mr. Shapiro.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Mr. Basor.
Here.
Mr. Brown. Here.
Okay. Please, everyone, mute if you could.
Yeah.
Public notice of the meeting. Public notice of the meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act is given by the clerk in the following manner. 1, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 6, 2021, and 2, emailed in retrospect and current proposed on January 6, 2021. First thing we have is a proclamation, Read Across America. I'm going to ask the clerk to read this.
Whereas the citizens of the Borough of Runnemede stand firmly committed to promoting reading as the catalyst for our students' future academic success, their preparation for America's jobs of the future, and their ability to compete in a global economy. And whereas the Borough of Runnemede has provided significant leadership in the area of community involvement in the education of our youth, grounded in the principle that educational investment is key to the community well-being and long-term quality of life. And whereas NEA's Read Across America, a national celebration of reading, will be conducted on March 2nd, 2021, the 117th birthday of Theodore Seuss Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss. And whereas Read Across America NJ is being conducted statewide by the New Jersey Education Association, the New Jersey State League of Municipalities, the New Jersey Library Association, and the local affiliates across the state. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor and Council of the Borough of Runnemede calls on the citizens of Runnemede to assure that every child is in a safe place reading together with a caring adult on March 2nd, 2021. And be it further resolved that this body enthusiastically endorses NEA's Read Across America and Read Across America in New Jersey, and recommits our community to engage in programs and activities to make America's children the best readers in the world. Nick Kapatis, Mayor.
Thank you, Joyce. Joyce, could you please hit the record button, please?
Okay.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay.
I lost you again.
We good?
Yep.
Okay. We do have a resolution we have to take care of first before we get to the regular meeting. Resolution 2136 is a resolution. I know it was spoken earlier. Our current OEM coordinator will be out for a period of time, and so it is prudent for us to appoint someone to take that place so that we can continue to sign forms and to get any applications out that need to be done. So on the resolution tonight, we have both of these gentlemen both have been spoken to, and both understand this is just a 90-day temporary appointment until we figure out what we're going to be doing. With the help of Mrs. Straley, she's going to help out with coordinating all this. But on public safety, Harry Wozunk is acting OEM coordinator for 90 days, and Anthony Dolch is acting deputy OEM coordinator for 90 days. Another suggestion was that even a small committee could be put together to help facilitate anything that has to be done so that we're all working together to accomplish what needs to be done on the OEM aspect. The most important thing, of course, is filling out paperwork, sending in our reimbursable requests and things like that. So I'm going to be counting on Shelley to take care of a lot of this, but she has confidence in Mr. Wozunk and Mr. Dolch, so do I. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
So motion by Ms. Passio, second by Mr. Lobenstein. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein,
Yes.
Mrs. Pascal,
Yes.
Mr. Farrell,
Yes.
Mr. Sepulveda,
Yes.
and Mr. Ranieri. Mr. Ranieri?
Yes, yes, yes.
6 ayes.
Right, the resolution is adopted. So once again, just to let everybody know, this only happened today. This happened very quickly, but it was important for us to get this resolution for tonight so that we have this done. So if anybody has any questions, I think several members of council have learned about what's going on and can get more information. New business for tonight, we have the stormwater ordinance. As everyone's aware, the state adopted a new stormwater regulation. The municipality is obligated to adopt it. I believe the solicitor has been looking at it to kind of maybe, it was like 50 pages long, is that correct? If there's a way to do a synapse instead of advertising the entire thing?
Sure, I can make that happen.
Yeah,
I would have to consult with our. Yeah, you're not going to publish the entire thing.
No, they published the entire thing.
No, you don't have to. We have a draft. We have something that you can.
Perfect.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'll get that to Dan and Joyce.
Your email, Mark, when you initially sent it, I thought was a pretty good foundation for that. So I'm sure that would be greatly appreciated and save me a bunch of time. So thank you.
No problem.
Great. And just to let everybody know, Haddonfield Borough did advertise and put the entire ordinance in the retrospect, and it took up 5 pages in the paper or something. A public hearing on our zoning ordinance, that was a little modification we were making on a pre-existing law. So we'll have our public hearing at our next meeting. Mutual aid resolution. Which one was that, Joyce? I remember that one.
Who sent me that? Somebody sent me that. Was that, let me find it. Mutual aid between, for different fire districts it's got something to do with the Homeland Security. There's a whole.
That should have been from Charlie. It's through the county OEM.
So right, it was from Charlie. You're right. So yeah, I guess he wants us to pass this by resolution. Can somebody check with Charlie what exactly he wants?
I think we can do it. I remember the email Ken sent. It was sent over by Sam. I think we can handle that. Okay, Cdbg for year 2021 projects. I did see a letter or an email from Mark. I agree with Mark that the Borough did very well getting $250,000 this year. And even though it's sort of an unwritten rule that the award is given every so many years so that we don't get small amounts, but I think it is incumbent upon us to at least send in another application. So the engineering department, what you guys want to recommend, or even something that we're working forward to. I know the census tract was part of that. Do you guys have an application ready, Bob or Mark?
I think we'll get together and come up with a good candidate. We don't have anything that I know of right now, but we'll look into that. And if we can get a consensus by next Tuesday's meeting, that should be good enough. And then we can get a resolution after the fact. But I'll work with Harry and Bob and come up with a potential candidate or two.
Sure.
Bob, did you have anything?
No, one of the problems is the eligible track that, that they'll send money out to is not where all our, bid streets usually are, so that really limits on getting some of the worst roads done. So, I'm sure there's some roads that need to be done.
Bob, is there any chance of you looking at Forest Avenue? It's really falling apart.
Yes, it is. It's horrible. In fact, I talked to Mark today. It's a sin that stops at Clemens Road and, doesn't cross the street, because that street is horrible. I think up the street from you where that tree fell, put a big dent in the street. So maybe we can just repair that area for the time being.
Yeah, I think we're gonna lose the whole street eventually if we don't do
Yes.
something.
Yes, you are right. That's horrible. Especially
Unfortunately, as Bob's saying, that's outside the CDBG eligible track.
exactly.
Go after forest.
So, yeah. But we'll look.
But once we get something for next week, we can agree on, pick something, because even if it's not this year, it's something maybe for the next round. Appointments of a crossing guard and a SLEO 2. I believe the Public Safety Committee did meet the SLEO 2 at this point. Clothing bin
No,
application.
we did not, Mayor. We were not able to. We feel that face to face at this point in time it's just a little too risky. So, we'll meet him eventually, get better.
Absolutely understandable. Clothing bin application, obviously, Borough does regulate these so that there's not too many of them, that they're not in any kind of a traffic or vehicular area where it causes a problem. It's really something that's done by, I think, the zoning official reviews it, and then council will just approve it as long as it meets the criteria. And how many are there, Joyce? Just a couple at the Acme?
What is it, 2 or 3 at the Acme? Yes. 3 bins.
They seem to be okay. Salary correction for the construction official. If everybody recalls, when we were making some changes with the code enforcement and construction, one of the issues we had done is we changed some of the hours. But in the last resolution, we didn't put the correct amount for Mr. Knight. His rate was supposed to be, he works now 20 hours a week at a maximum of $25 an hour. Or saying it backwards, $25 an hour with a maximum of 20 hours a week. So that was something that we had done kind of backwards at the last meeting, and so we just need a clarification. So we'll do a resolution that just clarifies that. The logic, everyone, was we did separate our code enforcements in another department now. Construction and zoning are in its own department now. Approval of local IT and security contract. I didn't get a chance to review that. Does anybody have any comments on the IT contract? Shelley, did you have anything that you thought about that, or John?
No, everything looks good to me.
I'm sorry, Shelley, get it.
No, I was happy with it as well.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm also very happy with the staff over there. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, I have no complaints. I think they are doing a great job. Resolutions to charge back senior and veteran deductions due to deaths of individuals. Of we'll just put them on. Discussion of dump truck purchase. I believe this is, Harry, you want to help me out? Is this the one from Stone Harbor? Or is this the repair?
No, that's the one from Stone Harbor. I'll put it on here because I don't have a resolution. Harry, do we ever do one for this?
No, we didn't do a resolution for it because the money came from O&E funds. It didn't come from capital. So with that, there was no need to do the resolution for it. Stone Harbor did a resolution because they were selling it. So they had to provide a resolution that way for their records. So we can do a resolution if you still want to, but I don't see a need. And check with Shelley on it, but
Harry, is this one that we already looked at before? Isn't this one of the couple vehicles we were looking at when they were getting rid of their vehicles? Or is this something new?
we had. No, that was one of the ones that we were looking at with the other vehicles. We had to wait for their new vehicle to come in, and it took so long for them to get the new vehicle with COVID. That's why it was put off until we could pass it.
I mean, it was $4,500, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, 4,500.
Your operating expense account, and if Shelley's okay with it, members of council, I mean, it's basically, he's just paying for it as if he was buying a wheelbarrow. So it's not
Yeah,
like it's a capital.
it's the same thing as before. We discussed this dump truck before. And
Yes,
it comes
we
out of
did.
O&E. Yeah.
Shelley, do we need a resolution?
With a purchase between towns, between government entities, it's probably best to have one, because they're doing it as not auctioning it off. So they're doing one, so it's probably best for us too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then discussion of utilizing source co-op. There are two co-ops that we're in the process of looking at, one for a repair of a trash truck and one for a potential repair of the roof. So what I like to do is, not necessarily tonight, but by next meeting, we'll have both of those co-ops. So just to make them understand that what the advantage of these co-ops are, by the borough joining into them, it saves us on a little bit of the legwork for going out for bid for certain items. So for example, a state contract with someone who's doing this body work on a trash truck, with the purchasing of certain roofing materials and things like that. So there are some advantages for us to do these things. Doesn't mean we have to use them, but it's nice to be able to have them as something else we can look at. So if everyone is okay with that, I think we can put that on for the two co-ops for the March meeting. We'll agree to join them. And then, once again, I think Harry got the price for the trash truck repair. And I think it was cheaper to go through that company, correct, Harry?
Yeah, we priced it out with one other competitor plus this company, and it's cheaper to go with this company. We're already members of that Sourcewell. We've done other purchases, a fire truck, the gymnasium equipment has been with Sourcewell, but we'll have to pass a resolution because it's the capital funds.
Okay. All right, so let's just make sure we get that done correctly. Proclamation for Youth Art Month. We'll read that at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll extend the temporary budget, and I'm assuming, Shelley, that's okay to do March? We don't need to do that tonight?
No, we're fine for the next meeting.
Okay, so this is our temporary budget. And then last item is discussion of Regional 8 Educational Service Center. And could somebody tell me about that one? I don't know that one.
The other co-op, Mayor.
Oh, that is the other co-op, okay. Okay, that's the company that does the roofing, the school roofing project, okay.
School? I thought we were gonna do the gym.
No, the company specializes in schools, but the gym roof is very similar to a school roof. So if we join the co-op, we could utilize some of their resources.
For our gym.
Yes, but it's a school co-op that we would join.
That we would join, Eleanor, for Harry Wood's roof.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Now, when these co-ops, do we have to renew our membership in these co-ops every year? Is that how that works? You renew your membership every year?
Most of them are lifetime, unless they're terminated.
Oh, okay.
All right, I don't have anything else other than that. We'll go around the room. So why don't we get started off with Ms. Passio? Yeah, have anything for us?
Unmute, Patty.
See, I'm forgetting. I'll save mine for a council meeting.
All right, progress for her, all right?
Progress, move on, move forward, keep on going. I'm running.
Okay, you okay, Patty?
I'm fine. Yes, I'm going to
She said
save
progress for next
I'm
meeting.
going to save mine for the council meeting. And it's just talking about the rabies clinic coming up.
The ladies from the Women's Club are doing the donations for Homeward Bound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll be there.
Eleanor, do you want to continue?
Thank you, Mayor. I received a quote for furniture at the firehouse for our EMTs to use. It so happened that the furniture that was being used in the lounge area belongs to the fire company. And they wanted that furniture put upstairs where their bar and kitchen area is, so their men could relax and have a more socially attuned environment upstairs. So they took the television and all the furniture that was there. In the meantime, we have our EMTs. Right now they're sitting on folding chairs without much comfort. So I asked Michael to give me a quote, and he's buying, did everybody see this or somebody look at this? It's 4 recliners, one of them being like a sofa recliner, a 6-seat dining table, and all the chairs to go around the table. And they're wood chairs. The table is a nice wood table, and the recliners are very nice. For all told, it's about $4,600. So I told Michael that we might not buy all of it, but at least we'll get the table and chairs so that people can at least sit there and have something to eat if they wish, and be at least a little bit comfortable. Of course, I would like to buy all of the stuff all at once and have it delivered. But Michael said we could just go with the table and chairs if we want to.
So Eleanor, let me just, Eleanor's correct everything she said. We need to have these this equipment. The borough, we've already committed some money to the fire company. So with the money that we're committing to them, they're going to spend that money to buy this furniture, Eleanor. So
apparently, that is not the arrangement that's been discussed.
That's the arrangement.
I don't believe the fire company is going to pay for this.
Yes, the fire company's going to pay for it, but we have an agreement that they're going to make this facility usable for the personnel that's in there. So the furniture is part of making that the office space work. So when we granted them funding to do the improvements, furniture is part of a typical construction project. So between paid staff, Mike,
I just want to make it very clear.
I just want to interject 1 second. As everybody's looking to, we would definitely want everybody to be comfortable. But we have some special meetings coming up because the money's not coming in like it's supposed to. The income to this borough that we expect each year is not here. We have some challenges, and we're going to have to deal with them. Even though we want to be generous, we can't be as generous as we'd like to be. Just putting that out there. Reality's hitting the wall. The pandemic is affecting our fiscal ability. So there are going to be some changes. I'm not sure how far they're going to go, but we're working on it, and we're going to do what's best for everybody. And we've got a lot of meetings coming. I just wanted to relax everybody. We don't have to get the shiniest stuff. We can get second best sometimes. I just want to say that I want to slow Eleanor down a little bit.
I think what we have to understand is that we have to make it clear to the fire company that they have to pay for this furniture, because right now they do not believe that the employees should be provided with any comfortable furniture while working for the fire department.
Let me just stop you guys. I read that email today, and I apologize. I don't get a chance to call everybody during the day. But I personally drove over to the firehouse today and was extremely disappointed.
What do you say next?
Yeah, so let's just make it clear. We've made a commitment to support this move of our personnel into the firehouse. We've made a commitment to be efficient over there. They've made a commitment to fix the building up to our standards, right? we're doing all these things to make our building better, and hopefully some of this money that's being spent, we will get reimbursed with hopefully future CARES Act money, because a lot of the reasons we're doing all this is for separating personnel, for cleanliness, for efficiency, for the trials we've gone through, as Mr. Harry said, for the past year, these additional expenses and the loss of revenue.
Mayor, what's your Mayor, just tell me, what's the bottom line? Is the fire company gonna pay for this or not?
We had the money allocated since last year. The money was in the account since last year. Mr. Anderson encumbered the money before last year. The fire company has not spent all the money that we've encumbered. So we've given them a certain amount of money to spend. As they finish projects, we're either reimbursing them or paying for them. This is something, you cannot have an EMT group of men and women working in there without someplace to sit down or someplace to eat. It's ridiculous. So they will get chairs and tables immediately.
And who's gonna pay for it?
The fire company will pay for it out of their fund, which is supplemented by us. Mr. Kearney, do you want to jump in on this? You're the one who sent the email today.
Michael?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
How about now?
Yeah, we could hear you. Go ahead.
You could before.
Okay. Yeah, we put the request in. I had a meeting with the chief and the head trustee last week about the furniture and the furniture moving. We had kind of a difference in opinion today, so we proceeded with the request for purchasing the furniture. I spoke with the chief today, and I believe he was supposed to call the mayor back to talk about what he thought was appropriate for us to purchase.
And I believe
I haven't heard from him.
the chief.
I haven't heard from him. Have you, Mayor?
Well, Mr. Kearney, you can speak to the chief, and the chief knows how. Does everybody in that fire department know how I feel about this?
I spoke to the chief. I know he does directly. We spoke. He was going to review the quote, and he was supposed to call you back.
The fire company will have it. If Eleanor, if it means carrying the furniture from the upstairs back down again, we'll do that. So that there's furniture for these people working. Completely, everything that happened, I had problems. It was a catastrophe of the way the department is working right now. It's driving me bananas. And so the resolution is going to be, if the department wants to support from this council and me, they are going to resolve these problems. They will get the furniture, Eleanor. They will find a way to pay for the furniture. They will find a way to continue to get the renovations done based on the agreement that we started last year. Is that okay? Is that clear enough?
I wish I could see this in writing. Is it in writing that they're gonna pay for this? I wanna see it in writing. I mean, all these handshakes and all these understandings, they're not helping me at all. It's not helping me at all. I want our men to be able to sit in good furniture and not have to be standing around for 12 hours.
So, did you call the chief? Did you call the chief last Friday when you found out that they had taken the furniture out of the kitchen area and took it upstairs? You know, I was
Guys, I think we're approaching. Mayor, excuse me for 1 second. I think this is something that we got to talk about off camera and outside of a meeting. I think we're kind of going beyond what we can talk about in this setting. I agree with you. This is an important issue that we need to resolve. Mrs. Kelly, I certainly agree with your perspective, but I think here and now is not the time. I get everybody's frustration, Mayor. We had a conversation about this today on the phone, but I think everybody's made their positions clear, but we got to move forward on a solution, but we can't do it here.
Okay.
Makes sense. Makes good sense.
Okay.
It's such a large project. We will work it out. It's not a problem.
I'll leave it with the borough encumbered $45,000 to invest in that property with the intent that the company would build these two offices, and to build two offices, they're useless without having furniture in them. So the actions that happened over this past 7 to 10 days were childish. Everything about that happened was awful. It will get resolved. All right. Eleanor, do you have anything else? I apologize. It's very annoying for me, this issue.
Mayor, did you read the summary of the fire department meeting? Did you read the summary I sent you?
You know, yeah, you're talking about the capital expenditures?
Yeah, apparently the boat was 50,000 and the ambulance is 217. 35,000 for the boat.
You know, Mr. Ranieri just brought up a comment about money is an issue possibly. I know that Shelley's interested in knowing how.
This is not a boat year. It's that simple. It's not a boat year. It's not a boat year. That's simple.
I'm having a hard time supporting certain things right now myself. The only thing that I want to accomplish.
Yeah, sorry, Nick.
What's that, John?
I was just going to say, Elmer, it's all about timing, and your timing's off right now, so, you know. We'll get through all this, but there's only so many funds that we have.
I know. I know, and I pushed.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm totally against it. But, like I said, if we don't get these offices completed in a timely fashion and start making the move that we've tried to start with our construction department, our code enforcement, our fire marshal's office, our EMT supervision, you know, we put all these things in place. Until they happen, I'm going to have a hard time supporting anything and spending more money until we see some results.
Yeah, we have to be able to afford our existing infrastructure as it is. And these are hard times. You know, when they say everything hits the wall and, you know, the buck stops here, it does. It stops here. It doesn't go anywhere else, right here. So we got to make it work. So we got to just all hold tight and keep moving on and doing the best we can. We're doing fantastic, so we don't need to be arguing over furniture. That's kind of silly. We're going to move on. Thank you.
No comment. I'm done.
All right, thank you. Mr. Farrell.
Yeah, I have a comment. What are these people doing right now? They're working a full shift and sitting on folding chairs?
Yeah.
So shouldn't that be done immediately, that furniture being brought down immediately?
From upstairs.
Yeah, I don't think, I agree with what everybody's saying, but now is not the time to talk about it. In this exact meeting, we can have whatever conversation, after this meeting is fine. I just don't think we should do this right here and right now. I think everybody is on the same page. I think everybody wants to get to the same place that's on this call, of course. But I don't think we can discuss this any further without going into grounds that we cannot legally get into.
Okay.
Okay, well said. What's next? Me? Finance?
It was Mr. Farrell. Bob, did you have anything else you wanted to add to on engineering?
Yes, well, other than the Cdbg grant, Beaver Branch Park. The Caucus Associates are estimating that the 5 lights.
Don't say how much we're estimating, please.
I wasn't gonna.
Okay.
No.
Now we gotta know. No, just kidding.
Well, with the money we have, well, put it that way, how's that better? The 5 lights and the control panel, when it's completed, it'll be similar to Magnolia's lighting that they put in. And 2 runs of lights, 2 runs of conduit are also proposed that will terminate and at the pool boxes and allow for future expansion. Those runs will get away from the bathroom and the facilities and the sidewalks, which will make it a lot easier when we're doing more lights And the pre-bid is scheduled for March 2nd at 10 a.m. And no quotes will be taken later than 4 p.m. on March 18th. All the rest progress. I'll leave it at that. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Bob. So, Mark, if you just want to add on, I just want to make sure. So there was some, the drawing I showed showed a lot more than 5 lights. We're not asking for anybody to give us pricing for anything more than just the 5 foundations, or are we looking for more foundations and more conduit, or how are you breaking the quote up?
The plan showed the 5 lights we're getting quotes for now, and then it ends at a pull box at each side. The future lights will just come off those pull boxes, and it says the plans say it's not in the current contract. So our plans delineate what's being quoted. So it's the 5 lights. It's 5
Do you want
lights.
to add alternate? Do you want alternate on it though to say, what if the number was 10 lights? Like, I understand if there would be economies of scale for things like that. Not that I'm against 5 lights, and I'm not against just spending a certain amount of money, but at the same time, I know you guys did the whole drawing. Will we be able to gauge how much it's going to cost us in the future?
Well, the reason we did the whole drawing is for future planning, and our electrical consultant had to design the conduits so it could take whatever wiring we need to get to the far end. So we gave him the full layout that we had talked about in our engineering meeting, but the current funds we have, we don't think we can go that far, and we're just getting 3 quotes, or we're requesting quotes. We have to get 3, but I think we're sending it out to 10 different vendors. But we're just trying to do the quote process instead of bidding it, because we can do that within the threshold we're working with. And that's why we didn't do any add alternates, because we're working with a threshold.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. All right, thank you, Bob. Mr. Ranieri, Finance.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you all. I'm going to keep it fairly short. We are still in the middle of budget preparations. We had a budget committee meeting planned for this Thursday, and we are moving that to March 11th, and we're going to make it a Zoom meeting. We've got our share of challenges, and it's just safer right now to do things on Zoom. So I'm also going to be working with Shelley at least 1 or 2 more meetings prior to that to get a handle on where we're at. A lot of the anticipated projections are a little off on some of our line items, and we're going to see. We're going to talk about that and how we can offset it and what we have to do before we can really finish and submit our budget, so we know where we're at. Nothing to worry about. We're going to be fine, but there is no room for anything that's not on the table already. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. So we're just going to try and get through it. And Shelley's also new to our town. Chris, our treasurer, is also new to our town. And but we're doing a great job. They're doing a great job. We just got our hands full. End of the year, beginning of the new year. There's a lot of work that's going on behind the scenes. And we just want to make sure we make the right decisions, and we don't make it harder for us by starting new projects that we're not sure we can handle right now. So, other than that, some good news. The electric cars here, I don't know if anybody saw my picture that I put out there. Drives like a dream. We got to get it registered and get it street legal, and then we'll be on a road shortly. Even though the charger's not in, but it'll be here shortly. We're just waiting for the snow to dissipate. We can still charge that car with an extension cord that I want to run around, keep it running, and then I'll pass the keys off to our code enforcement department, Buck, and we'll have our first electric car running around town. Nick's going to get some lettering done to let everybody know it's an electric car, green, part of our green team. It'll be great advertising for people cutting back on their footprint and making this community a better, cleaner, safer place. So I'm really excited about that. That is something to be excited about.
John, just explain where the money came from for the car.
Well, we got some of it in a grant. I think it was $4,000 we got for the car, and the balance the taxpayers are paying for.
All right, it was already in the budget from last year, right?
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. So
yeah, that's
we're
not
talking about other stuff.
No, they're just coming in. We're gonna, we still gotta buy trucks. We gotta buy whatever we've budgeted for, whatever we've prepared for. And of course, I wish this wasn't happening right now, but it is. But it's a step forward. We're not stepping backwards, and it is an exciting time. Zoom meetings. The finance department is able to continue because I have the capability to hold the Zoom meetings. I think we're going to have to get deeper into the Zoom meetings, Nick. If you need me to train any of the other groups, or if you think that somebody else needs to be able to put on a Zoom meeting here and there with our civic groups, I think it's something we should consider. I'm willing to help out and get that all coordinated. The Green Team's back on. We had our first meeting. It was a great meeting, right, Patty? Can you hear me? And Eleanor, it was a very good meeting. It went well. I'm getting better at putting these Zoom meetings on, and I'm looking forward to our next one. We can still get green and do some great things even while the pandemic's going on, and that's what we're doing. It's just that each one of your departments, just keep in mind as everybody wants stuff. We just have to be careful. And let's see where we fare in the next couple of months. Shelley, myself, the mayor, Eleanor, and the finance committee. We'll figure it out. And the rest is progress.
Hey, John, real quick, just so we know, I don't know if there's any public here or not, but how are we suffering due to the pandemic with our finances? What's being affected?
Well, I'd like to have my meetings with Shelley first, but there are a few, of course, the public safety, a lot of EMS things are going on, a lot of service, a lot of extra cleanup we had to do. We don't know how much of that we're going to get back. And in the meantime, we got to pay for it. Anything other than that, I'm just going to let go till I get more information from Shelley and we work together. If Shelley wants to say a few things, she can. But I'll give you more detail probably next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, John.
That's it, Mayor.
Craig, the money was last year was allocated for the UV vehicle was from the construction trust fund. There was money that's in the trust fund that was used to purchase the vehicle because the vehicle is being used for the construction code enforcement. So that's where the balance came from.
Very good, thank you.
Mr. Lowenstein, how are you?
Okay, good, yeah. Public Works has been business as usual, doing a lot of snow plowing. Hopefully that's done for the year. The weather forecast the next couple of weeks looks pretty good. Not that I'm a weatherman, but I do have an app on my phone. Been salting the streets and borough property service during the storms. There's a new shed for waste oil collection being built in-house. The new stormwater ordinances, we talked about that. We talked about the resolution for refurbishing the trash truck in Mid-Atlantic Waste. And also the Harry Williams roof. As I talked with Bob today, as it was, Nick just asked me to open up Harry Williams, and when Mr. Wozunk was there, we just met the contractor down there, part of the co-op, and it should be a pretty simple process for the roof, but we'll talk more about it at a later date. Rest is progress.
Right, thanks, Craig. Mr. Shapiro, how are you, sir?
I'm all right. How's everybody doing? Parks and Recs. I see the guardrails have been removed and they kept installed at Beaver Branch Park for the new labyrinth. So Public Works is working right again. They're getting equipment being serviced and getting ready for baseball and softball fields. I know both the RY and the girls softball are doing pretty good with registration, so they should each have some good teams. I think the RY this year is having a senior team this year, first time in about 8 years, for the big team to play on a big field, 13 and 15-year-olds. So that's exciting. Ready for the RY. Me and Harry had talked about we're thinking about getting a new sign for the Beaver Branch Park, just get design and see where we want to put it at instead of where it's at now. And also we talked about the pole barn, the field house. When it rains, it just gets flooded, not just outside, but inside. So Harry was saying he's going to see if he can get a survey done over there, a little design to see about the drainage over there at the field house. And the rest is progress.
Excuse me, Rich, did
Yes.
you get the email I sent you regarding the schools using the fields?
Yeah, I already did. Yeah, I already told softball and they already knew that Monday to Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 they use it all year long.
Did you loading?
I'll give him I'll email him tomorrow and let him know.
Okay, great, because he sent me insurance and everything else.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, but the RY and the girls softball already know that the both teams have it from Monday through Friday from 2:30 to 5:30. There's never going to be anything that's going to stop them from using that field from that.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's great hearing that Bolts is having their teams again. That's good news.
They're trying.
He's going to get the fields right. So.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's snow. There's still snow.
A little bit of snow. Okay, we'll go around with our professionals. How about we start a little different this time? Mr. Bayshore, you want to go first?
Sure. I have my report in writing. Bob covered some of it. I'll go over the other highlighted items. The road program using Cdbg money and the NJDOT money. We submitted a proposal on February 11th. We were outlining the costs of doing all the roads in its entirety or just trying to stay within the grant funding. So we submitted that proposal, and upon council approval, we'll move forward with the design and get the bid documents ready for advertisement. The Cdbg year 2021 project we talked about, we'll be looking into that. The Scout building, our architects have been working with the mayor with some floor plans, and once everything is finalized, we'll be getting those ready to go out for bid. Beaver Branch Park, we were talking about the lighting there, with receiving the quotes for that. And one thing that wasn't talked about is the 2021 recreation facility enhancement, the open space applications. They were just announced today. They're due April 1st. So I'll be working with the engineering committee on that. I don't know if you want to do another round of funding for the additional lights at Beaver Branch. That's one thing to consider. So we will talk about that, but we have some time since the applications aren't due till April 1st. Stormwater ordinance that we were talking about, Dan and I have been working behind the scenes tonight, and we do have something that can go in the paper. That's been forwarded to Joyce, so all she needs to do is add the dates into that, and then it can get published. And other than that, I'll just rely on my report and say progress.
Thank you, Mark. Did we ever get the 2020 recreation? Did they ever announce those? Or we're still working off of 2019, aren't we? Mark, are you familiar? Do you recall? Or Shelley, do you remember seeing if they're at 20 and 20? I know we started this whole light project, a grant. I just don't remember what year it was.
I can take a look. I don't remember seeing it, but I can take a look.
All right, we'll take a look.
We talked about it,
All right.
us possibly submitting it for the trails around Hirsch Lake.
Oh, is that what we said? Okay, I'm trying to remember. So this will be Hirsch Lake money?
Here, yeah. Remember?
Well, that might be a good application. So hear what Ms. Pasco's saying is around Hirsch Lake to get those trails back going.
Trails and the bridges.
That might be a pretty good application with the recreation, because it would be a new, you know what I mean, a new project. It would be something that hasn't been there before, for something that basically has been going for 20 years. So that might be a great application. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, well then let's go to Mr. Wozon. Harry?
Mr. Lobenstein and Mr. Shapiro gave a great report. Any questions? Other than that, we're progress and moving forward. We're getting ready for spring with the ball fields. Going to be dodging the raindrops and snowflakes to get them prepped in time this year. Other than that, I'll talk behind the scenes with Mark on some survey requests and future project plans. But other than that, progress.
Hey, thanks, Harry.
Harry,
Mr. Long?
Harry, Harry,
Yes, Mrs. Kelly.
did you want to say anything about the meeting with the stormwater runoff situation? Did you want to say anything about that, our meeting on Saturday?
We can hold off on that right now. Let's put some other facts together, and then we can report at a later date about that meeting that took place.
Well, I'm anxious to have that water test being done, so I just wanted to know if you were anxious to get that done too.
Yes, we'll put it all together and get the information, and we'll talk about it at a later date.
Everybody got the summary of that meeting, didn't they? I sent that summary out to everybody.
Yeah, I got it, Eleanor.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree. I think the water testing, something we should definitely begin. We haven't done it in 6 years. I think it's a positive thing to look at.
I won't forget about it. I'll keep it up on the front burner. You can be assured of that.
Mrs. Kelly, do you have the back burner?
Very well said, Dan. Okay.
You're muted.
Anything else, Mr. Long?
Oh, I didn't know you switched to me.
Yeah. Wanted to see if you had any
Progress. Nothing for public consumption
Right,
at this
that's right.
time, Mayor.
Very thorough, Dan, very thorough.
All right, hey, Shelley, you're here. Anything you have for us?
Nothing specific. I did want to point out that, just so that there's, no major concerns on the entire panel, anything that we had last year, as far as fees, things like that, revenue that didn't come in, it's not singular to our borough, it's statewide. It's things like municipal court, construction fees, things like that. So it's not just us, it's everywhere. So we do have plans of execution to put into place for the year to make up for it. Things that we'll just have to move around a little bit, but I'm not overly concerned, so I don't want all of you to be. It's just things that we may have to be a little more conservative with this year to be able to do that. So if anybody has any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Thank you, Shelley.
And I will co-sign all of that
Thank you, Shelley.
in representing other towns. That is the same conversation. I think this is the third one of that I've had this week, so no worries.
Are we getting any money from CARES? Are we?
As of right now, there isn't anything for CARES for municipalities as far as reimbursements. The only thing that's out there right now is the Cdbg CARES money, and that's limited to what you can get. We're certainly looking into that at this time, but it's not the same as the CARES money that was available last year. They don't have anything just yet for municipal reimbursements for what we were able to have looked into last year. We're hoping another bill comes out that will give us a little extra funding this year for that. But right now, the only thing we can look at is FEMA as far as that goes.
Are we up to date with all the FEMA filing and applications? Because I know Charlie was, doing that for us.
I'm going to look into that. I'm hoping to get with Harry within the next week or so, and we're going to take a look at that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We do have Captain Sampolsky on the line. Bill, did you have anything for anybody?
Yeah, just, I'm looking forward to in about a week or two police cars hitting the road. Everything else is on point and progress.
Great, thank you. Okay. We'll continue with the regular order of the meeting. Next thing we have is payment of bills. Would someone like to make a motion to pay the monthly bills?
I'll make a motion to pay the monthly bills.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Passio, second by Mr. Lobenstein. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Patrick,
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri,
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein,
Yes.
Mr. Farrell,
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly,
Yes.
and Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
6 ayes.
Right, the bills shall be paid. This is the good and welfare portion of the meeting. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please give your name and address. Seeing and hearing no one, would someone like to make a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make a motion to close the public portion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Passio, second by Mr. Lobenstein. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public portion is closed. Before we adjourn, I just do want to apologize. I was sick for a week. I was still a little rough, a little agitated. It's it was a tough illness, I will tell you. I don't wish it on anybody. I think it's important that we take care of ourselves and our families and take it seriously. In full disclosure, myself, my wife, my 2 kids, all of us got it. And it's something that we have to take very seriously. So I want everybody to be careful and take care of themselves. So other than that, is there anything else from the board before I take a motion to adjourn?
Glad you're here, Nick. You look good.
Yeah.
Take care.
Oh, you suck-ups. Bunch of suck-ups.
Looks like you lost some weight, Nick.
I'm a mayoral appointee, so I better be.
Yeah.
Everybody stay well.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. I'll second that.
second.
All right, motion by Mr. Lobenstein, second by, I think Mr. Farrell got in there. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6:58.
We are adjourned at 6:58.
Good night.